It is clear that God rules the universe and judges all souls, but how does this fit with the existence of a spiritual being called Satan, or as some of us know him, as Lucifer? He is also God's creation in the world, isn't he? Lucifer represents Satan as a spiritual being fighting against God's kingdom because of his pride. Today, we will understand who he is, what his role is, and what his actions mean. We all know the high role of God, but to understand the meaning of good and evil, we must look at the role of his messengers, namely, Satan and his angels. Furthermore, we will also understand how pride is related to all of this. Let's begin. In Genesis, it was written that God created all the angels in the world and in heaven, so it is impossible that even a mosquito can exist and move without his decision. As well as man and the angels. Who can hide in secret places so that I cannot see them? Declares the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth, declares the Lord. Jeremiah 23, verse 24. God is the only one who controls and judges all creation. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and accepts no bribes. Deuteronomy 10, verse 17. I the Lord search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. Jeremiah 17, verse 10. And there is no one else who decides the results of the person in the afterlife. The Lord brings death and makes alive, he brings down to the grave and raises up. 1 Samuel 2, verse 6. God is also responsible and decides everything that happens in the world, even what seems and feels bad to us. See, I set before you today life and prosperity, death and destruction. Deuteronomy 30, verse 15. As we have clarified all this, let us move on to the angels from whom Satan came. The word angel, in the biblical language, means a messenger. See, I am sending an angel ahead of you to guard you along the way. Exodus 23, verse 20. All angels were created by God, as his messengers, to carry out God's will. The need for angels arises from the fact that God is mighty and wonderful in the eyes of mankind, and therefore we will not be able to see him and survive. You cannot see my face, for no one may see me and live. Exodus 33 verse 20. That's why the angels were created to act by the power of God as partitions and holy forces in the world. Except for Moses, all the prophets communicated with God through angels. In the Bible, the word Satan is a general name for any factor sent to harm, even a disease or a bad person. Satan is the name for an angel of the highest rank, a cherubim, who sinned against God and was punished for it. His original name was Hillel ben Shahar. Satan, by being an angel, was created along with all the other angels on the fourth day of creation, along with all the other heavenly creations. 7 books of the Bible mention Satan: Genesis, 1 Chronicles, Job, Psalms, Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Zechariah. Furthermore, he is mentioned in 19 of the 27 books of the New Testament, including Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Revelation. The book of Isaiah describes God's punishment of the kings of Babylon, and Ezekiel describes God's punishment of the kings of Tyre. The book of Ezekiel describes a scenario in which God began the work of creation by following a specific plan or pattern that he would not deviate from. When the animals were created, they fulfilled a certain part of this plan. When man was created, he fulfilled one part of the plan, and when the angels were created they fulfilled another part. But when God created this particular individual, he sealed the plan. That is, he fulfilled and completed the plan in the fields of wisdom and beauty. In other words, Hillel ben Shahar, or Satan, was a much wiser and more beautiful angel among all the creatures created by God. His creation was perfect and whole because God created him without any flaws. Since he was so perfect, he was given a special ability, the power to choose something contrary to his own nature. In the book of Ezekiel, he is revealed to us by his name, Hillel ben Shahar, which means praised son of dawn. His role was to praise God at the dawn of each day, which led to his name being Lucifer in Roman mythology, or as known from the Bible, Satan. Rather than being satisfied with the high role that God had assigned him, he aspired to God's rank in his honor and began to rebel. According to the book of Revelation, 1/3 of all the angels God created joined Satan in his rebellion. After the rebellion, the angel became Satan, and together with him the other angels and the bad men began their battle against God and the good. This battle was called, War of the Sons of Light against the Sons of Darkness. Satan has drawn with him the sons of darkness, who gather within them all the fallen angels and humans who have become their allies. The fallen angels contain several groups of angels who all sinned against God. In the first group of angels who were thrown out of heaven was Prince Mastema, whom the priests of the truth wrote the scrolls of the Judean desert called Satan. There were 5 places where they were thrown. Those who were thrown into the sea, into the ocean, into the forests of the earth, and some who remained above the earth did not land on the ground but flew in the air. Therefore, it also relates to the 10 Commandments. You shall have no other gods before me. Exodus 20, verse 3. In the next commandment, he elaborated further on this. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above or on the earth beneath or in the waters below. Exodus 20, verse 4. This verse refers to the places where the fallen angels were thrown. Many cultures around the world worship fallen angels as idols. Ezekiel chapter 28 describes God's anger with Tyre's king. He compares him with Satan, who was proud and arrogant due to his high rank and spectacular appearance. For this reason, God sends him the prophet Ezekiel, who explains the satanic parable to him and warns him of his fate. Also in the book of Isaiah, chapter 12, God sends the prophet to tell the king of Babylon the tale of Satan. Because of his pride, to become like God, and for that reason, he was thrown from heaven, and hence the end of the king of Babylon will also be as his. Another group of angels who rebelled against the kingdom of heaven were those who came to earth to do justice and teach humanity to do good, but they betrayed their faith by listening to the advice of Prince Mastema and the descendants of Cain. They carried human form and fornicated with the daughters of men, begetting offspring for them. In response to this sin of theirs, they were expelled from the kingdom of heaven. These fallen angels became humans' enemies. The sons of Seth, the sons of Enoch and Noah were the sons of light. They brought useful knowledge that brought peace and contentment to the world, and that's how they spread the truth and the light of God. Following this, the sons of Shem continued the dynasty, continuing the sons of Abraham and the sons of Jacob to whom the Bible was given, and they were called Israel. When the fallen angels turned away from God, taught things that made him upset, like creating weapons for war, doing human sacrifices, worshipping idols, doing witchcraft, and other evil things that caused big problems. On the other side, the sons of light taught what God wanted, making peace rules, building strong defenses against evil, teaching the Bible, teaching people to be humble, kind, not competitive, and helping those who needed it. The Israelites carried this way of life, ordered by their God to be a light to the Gentiles, and have since time immemorial become a target for the fallen angels who saw them as a definite enemy. Even though the fallen angels influenced many kings who didn't know God's rules and tried to hurt Israel, God didn't leave them alone. Even when they sinned, God sent leaders like Moses, Joshua, King David, and other prophets to pray for and protect them. We hope you learned something new today. If you did, give this video a like and share it with your friends. You can share with us what you know by leaving a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative and entertaining content. Thank you so much and see you next time.